Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today we're going to be looking at assets. As we do in each one of these fundamental analysis tutorial videos, I'll give you the actual definition, and then we'll move on to look at some examples. Assets are simply economic resources. An asset is anything tangible or intangible that is capable of being owned or controlled to produce value and held to have positive economic value. Simply stated, assets represent value of ownership that can be converted into cash, although cash itself is also considered an asset. The two major asset classes are tangible and intangible assets. Tangible assets contain various subclasses, including current assets and fixed assets. Now let's look at some examples. For this example, we're going to be looking at the balance sheet. As you guys already know, if you've been reading or watching these videos going over the balance sheet, you know at the top of the balance sheet you will find the actual first part being assets. It's broken into three parts: assets equaling, of course, the liabilities and stockholders' equity, and that's why it's called a balance sheet, because the stockholders' equity plus liabilities will equal the assets. Whenever you're looking at assets, you'll notice that they are, of course, listed in order of liquidity, those that are closest to cash, and cash being at the top of the list. And then those that fall below them are, of course, the current assets, like we talked about in an earlier video. And these are the assets which can be turned into cash within 12 months, and the longer-term assets or fixed assets are those that actually take longer than 12 months to turn into cash. Because it is the assets of a company that actually creates the wealth for shareholders, it is very important that investors will spend some time looking at the balance sheet to analyze the assets of any company they may be interested in buying. Again, a balance sheet can be found anywhere. I'm looking at Yahoo Finance right now. You can find them on Google Finance. Your discount brokers will have them available for you for any company that you may be interested in, that's publicly traded, that you may be interested in investing in. And you'll also be able to find it at individual companies' websites. Will often have the 10Ks and the annual reports on their websites for you guys to view the balance sheets, as well as various other information, including the income statements, cash flow statements, so forth and so on. As you can clearly see from this balance sheet, there are many different types of assets, or different classifications or categories, if you will. You can have cash, short-term investments, receivables, inventory, long-term investments, property or plant equipment, even intangibles such as goodwill, other intangible assets, accumulated amortization. We'll go into each one of these individually in video format to give you guys a really clear understanding of what all of these items represent and what they're talking about. However, no company is going to have exactly the same items on their balance sheet. Companies run their businesses different from one another. They have different business models, and in different industries you'll have different items under here, but they'll all basically be within the same principles. All the assets on a balance sheet will be listed at the top of the balance sheet. The assets will of course equal the total liabilities and the total stockholders' equity. These are principles that will be universal no matter which company you're looking at. And now you know. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.